Hello students and friends. Welcome to Homeopathy Medicines. Today in this homeopathic materia medica lesson, I will discuss about homeopathic medicine Kali sulphuricum. Before start this video, please subscribe to this channel for learn homeopathy online free and homeopathy materia medica. We need support from you to make this channel more beautiful. Now going to discuss about Kali sulphuricum, its uses and symptoms. Ailments accompanied by profuse desquamation. Applicable to the later stages of inflammation. Yellow, mucus and serous discharges, profuse and intermittent. Has been found of much use in oxaluria. Head, rheumatic headache, beginning in evening. Bald spots. Dandruff and scald head. Ears, stark and deafness. Discharge of yellow matter, hydra. Nose, cold, with yellow, slimy expectoration. Nose obstructed. Smell lost, natmur. Engorgement of the nasal pharyngeal mucous membrane, mouth breathing, snoring, etc., remaining after removal of adenoids. Face, aches and heated room. Epithelioma. Stomach, tongue coated yellow and slimy. Insipid, puppy taste. Gums painful. Burning thirst, nausea, and vomiting. Load feeling. Dread of hot drinks. Abdomen, colicky pains, abdomen feels cold to touch, tympanitic, tense. Yellow, slimy diarrhea. Constipation, with hemorrhoids, sulph. Male, gonorrhea, discharge slimy, yellowish green. Orchitis. Gleat. Female, menses too late, scanty, with feeling of weight in abdomen. Metrorrhagia. Respiratory, coarse rales. Rattling of mucus in chest, tart m. Post-grippal cough, especially in children. Bronchial asthma, with yellow expectoration. Cough, worse in evening and in hot atmosphere. Croupy hoarseness, hep, spung. Extremities, pain in nape, back and limbs, worse in warm room. Shifting, wandering pains. Fever, rise of temperature at night. Intermittent fever, with yellow, slimy tongue. Skin, psoriasis, ARS, thyroid. Eczema, burning, itching, papular eruption. Nettle rash. Polypi. Epithelioma. Seborrhea. Fivus. Ringworm of scalp or beard with abundant scales. Modalities, worse, in evening, heated room. Better, cool, open air. Compare Kali sulphuricum. Alum of chrome 3x, produces in the nasal passages very fine threads from the septum to external wall. Affections of nasal fossa and hay fever. Chronic colds. Sneezing, red, watery eyes, irritation of mucous membrane. Two very deep acting remedies unite to form this one. It was left to Schuessler to show its first curative powers. Dewey's work on the tissue remedies gives the best presentation from the biochemic view. The writer gathered the symptoms from reported cures for many years, and found that they were justified by the study of the two remedies entering into the formation. Many of these symptoms come out upon the sick as aggravations. Some of these are only cured symptoms. This arrangement could be improved upon much by provings. If the reader will carefully use this remedy as herein directed, he will be astonished at its depth of action, and if he uses it high, he will be surprised at the length of action of every dose. It has cured epilepsy, lupus and epithelioma, and many desquamating skin affections. It has cured most obstinate cases of chronic intermittent fever. It is useful in catarrhal affections with thick yellow or greenish pus, viscid or thin yellow watery discharges. Most symptoms are aggravated in the evening. The patient craves fresh and even cold air, and he is ameliorated in open air and cool air. Aggravation by exertion and becoming heated. Complaints come on during rest, and are ameliorated by motion. Complaints aggravated in warm room. Takes cold from being overheated. When once heated, he cannot cool off without taking cold. Predisposition to phthisis. It is frequently indicated after tuberculinum. Epileptiform convulsions. Jerking of the limbs and twitching of muscles. Dropsical condition of the extremities. Loss of flesh, and complaints aggravated after eating. Fasting ameliorates many symptoms. Flabby muscles. Fatty degeneration of glands, liver and heart. Heaviness of limbs and weariness of the body. Hysterical symptoms. Sluggishness of the body and lack of physical irritability. Well-selected remedies fall short in action. Wants to lie down, but lying in bed aggravates. He must walk about to ameliorate his sufferings. Surging of blood in the body. Pain in the limbs, bones and glands. Wandering pains. Pains ameliorated by motion. Ameliorated walking. ameliorated in open air, aggravated in a warm room, aggravated sitting or lying, or rest in any form. The pains are burning, cutting, jerking, stitching and tearing. Ulcerative pains. Tearing downward in the limbs. Tearing in glands and muscles. Pulsation all over the body. Touch aggravates many symptoms. Many symptoms appear on waking. Trembling and quivering. Walking ameliorates. Warm coverings aggravate, warm room aggravates, warm bed aggravates, warm wraps aggravate, bathing aggravates. Complaints dating back to suppressed eruptions. Post-scarlatinal nephritis. One does not need to reflect to perceive this is a pulsatilla somewhat intensified. It takes up the work and finishes as a complement of pulsatilla, unless, as in some instances, the patient becomes a cold and chilly subject and is better during rest, and then SULPHURICU often will be found to have what symptoms remain. It is usual for a patient under a deep-acting remedy to go to opposite modalities, and hence pulse is so often followed by SULPHURICU, but this is not always true. When pulse has acted well for a time and because of opposite modalities SULPHURICU does good work for a while, and then the patient swings back to the original state, symptoms and modalities, then it is that Kali Sulph is of great usefulness. What occurs is the same as when Sulph, Calc, and like have rotated in a given case too deep to be cured by a single remedy, and a series of remedies has been what was required because the symptoms changed in such a manner that such a series was homeopathically suited. Quite unlike pulsatilla, this patient is easily angered and obstinate and very irritable. Seems to be thinking of something far away. Anxiety in evening in bed, during the night and on waking. Aversion to work, to business and to company, like puts. Concentration of mind difficult, and want of self-confidence. Confusion in the evening and in the morning, in a warm room, ameliorated in open air. Dullness of mind, discouraged and discontented with everything. Extremely excitable, and mental exertion aggravates. Fear at night of death, of falling, and of people. Frightened at trifles, and forgets what he was going to do and to say. He is always in a hurry, as if excited. Impatient and impetuous. Hysterical and excited in the evening, and mind active. Cannot make up his mind to do an act. Very irritable in the morning on waking, in the evening and during menses. Misplaces words in writing. Alternating moods. Changeable disposition. Restlessness during menses. Low-spirited morning and evening. Oversensitive to noise. Mental symptoms from sexual excesses. Walking in sleep. Shrieking. Easily startled, from fright. On falling asleep, and during sleep. Indisposed to talk. He talks in sleep. General timidity. Weeping. The vertigo is a prominent feature in the evening, in a warm room, aggravated after eating, aggravated during headache, aggravated looking upwards, with nausea, must lie down, objects turn in a circle, aggravated sitting, aggravated rising up, and standing, ameliorated in open air. Feels he is falling forward. He staggers. Boiling sensation in the head, and coldness of vertex. Hyperemia in bed, on coughing, and in a warm room. Constriction like a band or close-fitting cap. Constriction of forehead. Much dandruff. Eruptions on scalp, crusts, eczema, moist, sticky, pimples, scaling. Fullness in head, and hair falls out. Heat in head in a warm room. Heat in forehead. Flushes of heat. Heaviness of head, morning, in forehead, in occiput. Itching of the scalp in the morning. The brain feels loose. Sensation of movements in head on moving the head. There are numerous headaches. Pain morning on waking, evening and night, aggravated from a draught, during chill, taking cold, during coryza, on coughing, after eating, when heated, from warm room, jarring, during menses, motion of the head, pressure. It is ameliorated in open air, in cold air, lying. Rheumatic headache in evening, aggravated in warm room, aggravated moving head from side to side or backwards. Catarrhal headaches. Gastric headaches. The aggravation of headaches by motion is an exception, and it will be interesting to learn what further provings and observations bring forth. The pains are pulsating, aggravated shaking head, after sleep, sneezing, standing, stepping heavily, stooping, straining the eyes, aggravated in a warm room. The pains are violent. Walking in open air ameliorates. Pain extends to eyes and forehead. Pain in forehead, morning, evening, aggravated after eating. Pain over eyes. Pain in occiput, sides of head, temples. The pains are boring, burning, bursting, drawing, jerking, pressing, stitching in head and sides of head. stunning, tearing, pulsating in occiput, sides of head, temples, vertex. Shocks in head, insides of head, mostly in right side. The eye symptoms are numerous. Lids agglutinated. Dryness. Discharge, yellowish, greenish. Inflammation of conjunctiva, of lids. Dark veins. Eruptions about the eyes and on the lids. Lacrimation and itching. Opacity of the cornea. It is recommended for cataract. Pain, burning, pressing and tearing. Photophobia, redness of eyes and edges of lids. Spots on the cornea, ulceration of the cornea. Swollen lids. Dark colors, variegated colors, yellow. Halo around the light. Black floating specks. Dazzling. Dim vision. Exertion of vision brings on many complaints. Foggy vision. Sparks before the eyes. Weak vision. Catarrh of Ustachen tubes and middle ear. Dryness of the middle ear. Discharge from ear, yellow, thin, bright yellow or greenish, bloody, offensive, purulent. Eruptions, eczema, excoriated, pimples. Eruptions behind ears. Itching and cars. Noises, buzzing, chirping, cracking, crackling, humming, ringing, roaring, rushing, whizzing. Flapping sensation in the ear. Pain in ear, evening, aching, boring, cutting, pressing, stitching, tearing. It has cured polypus. The ears feel stopped and pulsate. The hearing is impaired. Fluent coryza. Catarrh with discharge, bloody, burning, excoriating, greenish, offensive, purulent, thin, yellow, slimy, or thick and viscid. Dryness in the nose. Bleeding, in morning on blowing. Itching in nose. Obstruction. Pain, burning. Soreness in nose, of septum. Smell acute, later lost. Sneezing. Swollen nose. Sickly, yellow, chlorotic face. Cracked lips. Sometimes pale. Sometimes circumscribed redness. Drawn face. Suffering, sickly expression. Eruptions on face, lips and nose. Herpes, pimples and scales. Desquamating face. Flushes of heat. Itching. Inflammation of the submaxillary gland with swelling. Prosopalgia, aggravated when the room becomes too warm, and in the evening, ameliorated in the open air. The pains are drawing, stitching and tearing. Perspiration of the face. Swollen glands of jaw, swollen lips. Twitching face. It has cured a wart on the lip, and will cure epithelioma when the symptoms agree. Ophthae in mouth. Dryness of mouth and bleeding gums. Mucus in mouth and on the tongue. Sore burning tongue. Salivation. Taste insipid, putrid, sour, sweetish, wanting. Coated yellow slimy tongue, mostly at the base. Toothache aggravated in a warm room, ameliorated in cool fresh air. Dryness and constriction of throat. Frequent hawking of mucus. Heat and inflammation of throat. Sensation of a lump in the throat. Mucus in the throat in the morning. Painful sore throat. Pain on swallowing. Rawness, burning and sticking. The tonsils much swollen. Swallowing difficult. Great anxiety and distress in the stomach. Appetite is increased, ravenous, or wanting. Aversion to bread, to eggs, to food, to meat, to hot drinks and warm food. Coldness in stomach. Catarrh of stomach. Desires sour thing, sweets, cold drinks and cold food. Distension of stomach. Irritable, easily disordered stomach. Sensation of emptiness and faintness in stomach. Eructations, after eating, bitter, empty, of food, sour, water brash. Eructations ameliorate. Gastroduodenal catarrh with jaundice. Fullness after eating ever so little, like heartburn, heaviness and flushes of heat. Hiccuping. Loathing of food. Nausea during chill, during cough, after cold drinks, after eating, with headache, on motion. Pain in stomach after eating and drinking. Burning, cramping, cutting, pinching, pressing, soreness, stitching. Pulsating in stomach. Retching when coughing. Burning thirst. Vomiting on coughing, after eating, during headache, during menses. Vomiting bile, food, mucus, sour. Coldness in the abdomen. Distension after eating. Dropsy. Enlarged liver. Obstructed flatulence. Sensation of fullness after eating. Sensation of emptiness in lower abdomen after stool ameliorated by displacing flatus. Heat and heaviness. Complaints of the liver. Itching of the skin. Pain in abdomen at night. Cramping during diarrhea, after eating, before the menses, during menses, aggravated by motion. pain in inguinal region and in the liver. Burning, cutting, pressing. Pressing in hypogastrium and liver. Soreness in abdomen and in the liver. Stitching in the abdomen, in the sides of the abdomen, in the inguinal region, in the liver. Pulsating. Rumbling before stool. Trembling in abdomen. Tympanitis. Constipation that is very obstinate, alternating with diarrhea. Stool difficult, soft or hard, insufficient, during menses, from inactivity of the rectum. Diarrhea in the morning, evening, night, after midnight, painless, or with cramps, during menses. Chronic diarrhea. Offensive, putrid flatus which ameliorates many abdominal symptoms. Hemorrhage from the anus. Hemorrhoids, external, internal, large and bleeding. Involuntary stool. Violent itching of the anus. Pain in the rectum and anus, during stool, after stool. Burning during diarrhea, during stool, after stool. Cutting, pressing, smarting and great soreness. Parts excoriated. Stitching in anus. Tenesmus after stool. Urging to stool, ineffectual, absent in constipation. Stool is excoriating, black, thin and offensive. Stool bloody, frequent, offensive, purulent, watery, yellow slime. When constipated the stool is dry, hard, knotty, large, like sheep dung, small. The stool is light-colored and bileless. Chronic catarrh of bladder. The pain is pressing, sticking. It has urging to urinate aggravated at night, constant or frequent, ineffectual. Urination is painful, frequent at night, dribbling when walking. Inflammation of the kidneys with stitching pains. Gonorrhea in the advanced stage, with green or yellow thin or viscid discharge. Hemorrhage from the urethra. Burning during urination, and in the meatus. Cutting. The urine is albuminous, and this remedy has been especially useful in albuminuria following scarlet fever. The urine burns and is cloudy, high-colored, copious, or scanty, offensive, with red and purulent sediment. Copious viscid mucus in the urine. Impotency. Induration of testes. Inflammation of glands penis. Orchitis after suppressed gonorrhea, pulse. Itching of genitalia and scrotum. Drawing in testes. Sexual desire diminished or entirely lost. Swollen testes. It builds up women who have been subject to abortion. Aversion to coition. Excoriation of the genitalia, with itching. Leucorrhea, burning, excoriating, greenish, yellow, purulent, thick or watery. Menses absent, bright red, copious, too soon, or too late, offensive, painful, protracted, scanty, suppressed. Hemorrhage from the uterus. Pain in uterus, during menses. Bearing down in the pelvis. Burning in the genitalia. Labor-like pains during menses. Prolapsus of the uterus. Catarrh of the air passages with thick greenish, yellow or white mucus. Dryness in the larynx. Rawness in the larynx. Soreness and roughness. Almost constant scraping in the larynx, aggravated after eating, at night in bed, until midnight, almost driven to distraction by the necessity to clear the larynx and gets up only white thick mucus. Tickling in the larynx. Hoarseness. Recurrent coryza with irritation in larynx. Voice lost. Every cold settles in the larynx. Asthma aggravated in a warm room, ameliorated in open air. Dyspnea evening, night, with cough, when lying, walking, ameliorated in open air. Rattling breathing. Short, suffocative breathing in a warm room. Wheezing in a warm room. Whistling. Coughing in morning, evening, in bed, night, ameliorated in cold air, ameliorated in open air, ameliorated by cold drinks. Cough with coryza, aggravated lying. Dry, hoarse, droopy cough at night. Cough aggravated after eating, during fever. Exhausting cough. Hacking cough. Loose cough. Paroxysmal, racking cough. Rattling cough. Suffocating cough. Tickling in larynx, trachea and deep in chest. Warm room aggravates cough. Whooping cough with yellow slime or yellow watery expectoration. Expectoration bloody, difficult, must be swallowed, or slips back, purulent, yellow or greenish, slimy, watery, viscid. Anxiety in the chest. It is one of the most surprising remedies in catarrh of the chest. Rattling in chest from every cold change in the weather. Constriction of the chest. The last part of pneumonia and pleurisy will bring out symptoms for this remedy. Itching of the skin of the chest. Eruptions, eczema, pustules. Oppression of chest and hemorrhage. After bronchitis in children, when every cold causes rattling in chest and there is no expectoration. Burning, cutting, stitching and soreness in chest, pain in heart, stitching in the heart, palpitation with anxiety of heart, tumultuous palpitation, perspiration in exhale, weak chest. This remedy has saved many people from phthisis. It has cured swollen sensitive mammy coming every month before menses, coldness in the back, pain in the back on breathing, during menses, periodical, aggravated sitting, aggravated standing, ameliorated walking, aggravated in a warm room, wandering pains, pain in cervical region, dorsal region, between the shoulders, pain in lumbar region during menses, while sitting and walking, pain in sacrum, aching, bruised, burning, drawing, stitching, tension in the cervical region, weakness in the lumbar region, arthritic nodosities, coldness of upper limbs and hands, cold feet evening in bed and during fever, cracked hands, cracking in joints, pimples and vesicles on limbs, desquamation on legs above the shoe tops in a young woman, heat of hands, hip joint disease, heaviness of lower limbs, itching of the skin, jerking of the limbs, numbness of hands, lower limbs and feet, pain in the limbs during chill, rheumatic pains in limbs, cramps in muscles, drawing in knees and legs, rheumatic pains aggravated in a warm room, ameliorated walking in open air, aggravated sitting, ameliorated moving about, sore bruised pain in tibia, stitching in the joints, in lower limbs, knees, legs, wandering stitching, tearing pains during chill, in joints, upper limbs, lower limbs, thighs, legs, wandering tearing pains, ameliorated by motion, and walking in open air, perspiration of palms, of feet, cold sweat of feet, restless legs, stiffness of joints, swelling of knees, legs, feet, trembling of limbs, hands and feet, twitching thighs, ulcers on legs, weakness of joints, upper limbs, of knees. The sleep is full of dreams. He has nightmare. Dreams anxious, of death, of being in an accident and nearly killed, of robbers, of sickness, frightful, of ghosts. Late falling asleep. Restless sleep. Sleepiness in afternoon and evening, and after eating. Sleepless before midnight. Waking early, and frequently. Chill evening and night. Chilliness in the evening. Chilliness after exertion. Coldness of the skin. Quotidian chill. Shaking chill evening, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Fever without chill, evening until midnight. Fever, dry heat, flushes. Hectic fever. Intermittent. Perspiration in morning, night, after midnight. Perspiration on slight exertion, copious. Sensation of burning in the skin, burning after scratching. The skin is often cold. Desquamation. Discoloration, liver spots, red spots. Dry skin, inactivity of skin. Dry, burning skin. Epithelioma. Eruptions, blisters, burning, dry, moist, eczema with yellowish green, watery, discharge, herpetic. Itching and stinging eruptions. Rash like measles. Eruptions painful, pimples, psoriasis, pustules, red eruptions. Scabby eruptions. Scabby after scratching. Scaly eruptions on a moist base. Smarting, suppurating eruptions. Tubercular eruptions. Urticaria, nodular. Vesicular eruptions. Erysipelas with blisters. Easy excoriation of the skin. Intertrigo. Formication. Itching, burning, crawling, stinging, aggravated when warm in bed, ameliorated scratching. Moisture of the skin after scratching. Neuritis. The skin is very sensitive, a sore feeling in the skin. Sticking after scratching. Skin swollen and dropsical. Sensation of tension. Ulcerative pain. Ulcers, bleeding, burning, bloody discharge, stabbing, yellow discharge, indolent, pulsating, suppurating, tuberculous. Painful warts. Thanks for watching this video. If you want more videos like Kali Sulphuricum. Please subscribe this channel and press the bell icon. To learn homeopathy course online free with Homeopathy Materia Medica. Comment us your feedback and what you want in next video. Like and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay healthy, stay happy.